Welcome to the Transitions Daily podcast. Transitions Daily is an online recovery group that offers a daily distribution of popular recovery resources accompanied by a secret Facebook group for discussion. We hope you enjoy today's readings.
This is Transitions Daily, June 5th. My name's Craig from Denny, Scotland, and I'm an alcoholic. AA thoughts for the day. Carry the message. We sit at AA meetings and listen, not only to receive something, but to give reassurance and support which our presence can bring. If our turn comes to speak at a meeting, we again try to carry AA's message. Whether our audience is one or many, it is still 12th step work. Bill W. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 110. Thoughts to consider. The light at the end of the tunnel may be you. Acronyms. Trust. Teaching recovery using steps and traditions. Just for today. Development from the 3 legacies of Alcoholics Anonymous. As the Big Book chapters were slowly roughed out, I read them to the New York group as a weekly meeting in our parley at Clinton Street. And copies were sent to Dr. Bob for checking and criticism in Akron, where we had nothing but warm support. But in the New York meeting, the chapters got a real mauling. I redictated them and Ruth retyped them over and over. In spite of the heated arguments, the New York group's criticisms did help a lot, and to some extent, the enthusiasm and confidence increased. Alcoholics Anonymous comes of age, page 159. Daily reflections. Entirely ready? This is the step that separates the men from the boys. The difference between the boys and the men is the difference between striving for a self-determined objective and for the perfect objectives which is of God. It suggested that we ought to become entirely willing to aim toward perfection. The moment we say, no, never, our minds close against the grace of God. This is the exact point at which we abandon limited objectives and move towards God's will for us. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 63, 68, 69. Am I entirely ready to have God remove these defects of characters? Do I know at long last that I cannot save myself? I have come to believe that I cannot. If I am unable, if my best intentions go wrong, if my desires are selfishly motivated, and if my knowledge and will are limited, then I am ready to embrace God's will for my life. As Bill sees it. Suffering Transmuted, page 35. AA is no success story in the ordinary sense of the word. It is a story of suffering transmuted, under grace, into spiritual progress. For Dr. Bob, the insatiable craving for alcohol was evidently a physical phenomenon, which bedeviled several of its first years in AA. A time when only days and nights of carrying the message to other alcoholics could cause him to forget about drinking. Although his craving was hard to withstand, it doubtless did account for some part of the intense incentive that went into forming Akron's Group No. 1. Bob's spiritual release did not come easily. It was to be painfully slow. It always entailed the hardest kind of work and the sharpest vigilance. AA comes of age, page 69. Big Book quote. We feel as though we have been placed in the position of neutrality, safe and protected. We have not sworn off. Instead, the problem has been removed. It does not exist for us. We are neither cocky nor are we afraid. That is our experience. That is how we react so long as we keep in spiritual condition. Alcoholics Anonymous, 4th edition, into action, page 85. 24 hours a day. AA thought for the day. We alcoholics are fortunate to be living in a day and age when there is such a thing as Alcoholics Anonymous. Before AA came into being, there was very little hope for the alcoholic. AA is a great rebuilder of human wreckage. It takes men and women whose personality problem expresses itself into alcoholism and offers them a program that, if they are willing to accept it, allows them not only to get sober, but also to find a much better way of living. Have I found a better way of living? Meditation for the day. Very quietly, God speaks through your thoughts and feelings. Heed the divine voice of your conscience. Listen for this and you will never be disappointed in the results of your life. Listen for this small, still voice and your tired nerves will become rested. The divine voice comes to you as strength, as well as tenderness, as power, as well as restfulness. Your moral strength derives its effectiveness from the power that comes when you listen patiently for the still, small voice. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may listen for the still, small voice of God. I pray that I may obey the leading of my conscience. Hazeldean Foundation, P.O. Box 176, Centre City, MN 55012. My name's Craig, and I'm an alcoholic.
We hope you enjoyed today's readings. You can also receive Transitions Daily via email and discuss today's readings in our secret Facebook group. So for more information, go to dailyaaemails.com today.
Other than the 24 hours a day reading, unless otherwise specified, all quotes copyright Alcoholics Anonymous World Services, Inc., 1952 through 2001.